Hey everybody, it's Amanda and it's time for the February 2020 Q&A. There's only a few questions this month because I already answered one in a collaboration. And today I have my good friend Steven helping me by asking the questions so I don't have to open my eyes and look and read and try to figure stuff out and then go back into state and all that. And we're at his beautiful magic kingdom, as he calls his dome house, which is very conducive to the kind of energy you need to channel. So I'm gonna have him read the questions and get started.
Can you speak about how to handle narcissistic behavior, gaslighting? How can we dismantle it? Any pointers to help us to be most effective to create when some hold old power authority structure?
We would say that although you have the ability to observe this behavior, your particular roles in coming here do not include fixing, so to speak, this type of frequency. Your roles in coming here are to anchor the light and anchor the frequencies that you want to see here. And so we would say the only way that we see from our perspective that you could truly dismantle this type of behavior is by expanding the light to such a degree that it doesn't have any space to grow. Division, separation, anger, and fear all give that type of behavior a way to expand. And so the only way that we see at this time for this to be dismantled is to shine your own light and expand that light in the physical world in whatever way brings you the most joy. And what we mean is that it is not simply by meditating and focusing on that light and the feeling that it brings, but to create something with that light and out of joy in your own individual lives. So, for example, if creating art brings you joy, you infuse the art with the higher frequencies, and then it spreads to everyone who sees it or comes in contact with it. So it is not just about meditating and focusing inward and connecting with the frequency. It is about bringing it through into your world in physical form, in physical actions, and things that bring you joy to create. Books, interactions, groups, meetings, dance, music, art, all these things are ways to spread the light so that that negative polarity, as you say, does not have a place to grow. I think that's all they have to say on that.
Second question. In a recent channeled message, Bashar, channeled by Daryl Anka, said 2020 is going to be crazy, and he gave guidance about staying in the eye of the storm. I wonder if there is any specific channeled guidance you might have for us to deal with this year.
We would say, we think it might help you to know that you are the ones who awakened, so to speak, first. You are the ones who went through the trauma, who worked on clearing your trauma, who worked on holding the light, focusing on the light or focusing on positive polarity. You're the ones who did this first in order to be of service to those in masses who will be waking up now, who are waking up now or have just woken up, so to speak. And so you are the ones on the life raft holding your hands out to those flailing around in the water, trying to figure out how to survive. And so we think if you hold this position of having been through this, understanding the process and looking at others' struggles as something you have already been through, it will be easier for you to be more objective, to be more nurturing, to be more kind, and to be unaffected by those who lash out even at you because they are going through these tumultuous experiences and emotions. And so even if you do not physically reach out to help individuals, you can at least hold the space of knowing that they are going through what you have been through in the past, and hold the feeling of non-judgment and understanding for the masses in the world who are just coming to the realizations that you came to long ago. And so the chaos you see in the world is the beginning of all the good you are holding, all the space you are holding, and all that you want to create. And it is proof that it is coming. They are transitioning and transforming just as you have. We hope this helps.
Third question. Is it possible to link into a frequency to make the earth go into a higher vibration? And would those frequencies be able to help earth in the future? And do they have effect on a long term?
We would say you are that frequency, and the reality that you have come here is proof that it is changing. You have been part of an experience that lasts in what you perceive as time over many, many lives. Thousands and thousands of years you've spent here collecting experiences of a certain type and not leaving the earth sphere and the circle, so to speak, of these experiences. At this time, you have reconnected with your, we would say, higher frequency selves, your other level selves. And so that frequency is now permeating the earth spheres, the cycle of all the lifetimes you've lived here. So in a way, you could say you have broken free of the karmic cycle and the cycles of all the lives. And you are bringing the higher, for lack of a better term, the other level dimensional selves frequencies into this physical earth cycle plane or dimension. So it is already happening, and the fact that you're asking the question is because you have an awareness on some level that this is what you are already doing. We see this from a perspective of all time, and we see that the earth will and has already transitioned into a higher frequency and other level state beyond that of reincarnating again and again to garner experience. There are other planets and other places to experience these karmic cycles, but the earth is in a transition and will no longer be a place where this can happen because it is becoming more evolved, we could say. It will be a different type of experience. And so, really, you need do nothing for this to happen. We see that it is, from your perspective, happening, and from our perspective, has happened. But we would also say, if it serves you to connect to these higher frequencies so that you may feel them in the physical plane, then yes, continue to do so. And the more that do this, the more we'll feel the more evolved, so to speak, earth in your current time.
One more question, the fourth one. I wonder if some clarity is available about why so many people are short-sighted and wear glasses to see clearly. Is there a simple, natural way to restore clear vision, or an energetic healing is required?
We would tell you that there are many parts to this question. We could say there is nothing wrong with anyone's vision, that they experience this for personal reasons. You could also experience this due to subconscious programming. However, the only way to determine if there is an actual defect in the eye or impairment is perhaps in trance or under hypnosis. The majority, we would say, of subjects with perceived difficulties in their vision have perfect vision under hypnosis. And we would say the answer is so varied, it is difficult to give a majority response. However, in your own language, you can see that the definition of short-sighted means not being able to see or understand the big picture or what is coming in the future. And so we would suggest that there is much fear around the outcomes based on what you are seeing in your current time. And so if you wish to improve your personal vision, if you are short-sighted, then fear needs to be released, guilt needs to be released, and trust needs to be built on what your future looks like for you, what you believe will happen in the future. If you truly believe, and your subconscious mind agrees, that the future is very positive for the world and for your personal interactions, then you will not have any short-sightedness. We could say the same for the opposite condition. Always look at the physical as an indicator of what emotional state you're holding. Well, they just stopped, so I guess that's all for that. No. I guess that's all for this month. Yeah, until next month. Happy Valentine's Day, and much love.